Hello, BookTube. I have a few new arrivals to show you, books that are either forthcoming or out now that I opened off camera, but nevertheless thought you might want to see. I like to do this because who knows if you might be interested in one or more of these books more than I am. And it's good for us to walk through them together so that you know they're coming out. So I thought we'd just go through them, starting with this thing. This is a novel from Other Press, and it has a book in it. Okay, so this is out already. This came out on November 23rd. I don't recall if we've already talked about it on this channel. We may have seen an advance copy. This is... Are you translated? Yes, this is translated. This is The Anomaly by Hervé Letellier. And it's translated by Adriana Hunter. And we'll see if we can find a description in all of this verbiage. Good Lord, look at all this stuff. This is incredible. Okay, here we go. This is by the fascinating and acclaimed French author, journalist, mathematician, food critic, teacher, and one-time Oulipo group member. And it was awarded the Prix Goncourt in 2020. And now it's got an English language translation. This is the only book that has ever been nominated for the Goncourt. Oh, God help us. Okay, so there are 4 major literary prizes that this thing got nominated for, and it's the only book ever to get nominated for all 4. And it centers on a plane whose passengers undergo a strange aerospace disturbance that baffles leading scientists and security experts alike. Sure to resonate with fans of Don DeLillo and Philip K. Dick. Oh, is it bad? Letellier's... I shouldn't say that, because Dick isn't always bad, and neither is DeLillo, but still. The author's mind-bending, genre-hopping work combines the adrenaline-pumping suspense of a thriller and crime novel with the inventive speculation of science fiction and fantasy, all while weaving a thread of moral philosophy. Okay, all right. So this is for Les Deux Hommes. A boundless work where logic confronts magic, The Anomaly holds a mirror up to the social issues defining our present time while forecasting critical issues on the horizon. And let's see here. The passengers, among them are Blake, a respectable family man, though he works as a contract killer. Slim Boy, a Nigerian pop star tired of living a lie. Joanna, a formidable lawyer whose flaws have caught up with her. And Victor Meisel, a private writer who has suddenly become a cult hit. All of them believed they had double lives. None imagined just how true that was. Okay, sprinkled with nods to sci-fi classics such as Close Encounters of the Third Kind and A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The author, okay, the author is not sprinkled. He's got no sprinkles on him. I know the French are odd, but he doesn't have any sprinkles on him. The book is, never mind. It's a dangler. They bug me. The author has crafted a novel as playful as it is action-packed. Okay, all right. I don't think anyone would list Close Encounters of, I don't think anyone would list Close Encounters of the Third Kind, or what was the other one? Okay, I don't even know what the writer of this pub sheet means. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, everyone knows is a movie. I don't even remember off the top of my head who wrote the novel. Was it William Kotzwinkle? I'm not even sure. It sounds like this book is pure dude bro. It sounds like it is meant to be experienced as a video game. Or a nitrous oxide hit rather than a book. We shall see. We shall see. I'm all of a sudden feeling a lot of sympathy for Adriana Hunter. But anyway, if it can win 4 French prizes, 40 million Frenchmen can't be wrong. Anyway, that did I mention one? Yeah, this is out already. The Anomaly's out already. So if that description appealed to you, A, you probably want to email me for help, and B, if it did, this book is already out. It's available. But I don't think a lot of these are already out. I think quite a few of them are not. Yeah, for instance, this one comes out in February. And this is by Sarah Manning Peskin, and it's called A Molecule Away from Madness. So what have we got here? Our brains are the most complex machines known to humankind, but they have an Achilles heel. The very molecules that allow us to exist can also sabotage our minds. In this book, cognitive neurologist Sarah Manning Peskin demystifies the most curious neurological phenomena through a true accounts of unruly molecules and the diseases that form in their wake. And now we get some horrifying examples of those. A college student cannot remember if she has eaten breakfast. By dinner, she is strapped to a hospital bed, convinced she is battling zombies. A man planning to propose marriage instead becomes violently enraged, gripped by body spasms so severe that he nearly bites off his own tongue. I've had that reaction to the proposal of marriage many times, but only from Deb. One after another, poor farmers in South Carolina drop dead from a mysterious epidemic of dementia. With an intoxicating blend of history and intrigue, the author invites readers to play medical detective, tracing each diagnosis from the patient to the ailing nervous system. Along the way, she entertains with tales of sometimes outlandish, often criticized, and forever devoted scientists who discovered it all. Okay, so neurological disorders. If that is your very strange cup of tea, then this is coming out in February, and it's all about that. And it sounds like it's intentionally made to be approachable. Then this next one is also coming out. This is coming out in February. It's by Bernd Brunner, and it's translated by Jefferson Chase, and it's called Extreme North, A Cultural History. Quite the cover. Let's see what we have here for Extreme North. Here in the little book room. Filming in the little book room. The light is dodgy, but I can't get away from that. So let's see here. People have long projected their fantasies into the great expanses of the global north, whether it be as a frozen no man's land, an icy realm of marauding Vikings, or an unspoiled cradle of prehistoric human life. In this book, the author reconstructs the encounters of adventurers, colonists, and indigenous communities that led to the creation of a northern cabinet of wonders, and imbued Scandinavia, Iceland, and the Arctic with a perennial mystique. An entertaining and informative voyage through cultural fantasies of the North, from sea monsters to a mountain-sized magnet to racist myth-making, Extreme North explores both the dramatic vistas of the Scandinavian fjords and the murky depths of a Western psyche obsessed with Nordic whiteness. Okay, and the author? Who is the author when he's at home? He's a historian, a lecturer, and an author of many acclaimed books, whose work has also appeared in Lapham's Quarterly, the Paris Review, and Aeon, among other outlets. Did he write those in English? Those are English language publications. Did he have work in Lapham's Quarterly that was translated? I'd like to know now. He splits his time between Istanbul and Berlin. Okay, all right. I'm be interested to know what his actual history is with the far north, or if he's just interested in a subject. He doesn't live there. It was in Istanbul. Okay, well, there you go. So the far north, the extreme north, and all of the myth-making that has associated with it throughout time. Then we have this next one. This next one comes out in March. I have a feeling that for some of you, your reaction to your journey on whether or not you're going to like this book is going to start in the subtitle. Nothing I can do about that. This is by Alice Beck Kehoe, and it's called Girl Archaeologist, Sisterhood in a Sexist Profession. I don't think I have a sheet for this one. No, I don't. I do have, that is our author. Incredible. Kind of face you want to listen to. So what have we got here? Girl Archaeologist recounts Alice Kehoe's life, begun in an era very different from the 21st century, in which she retired as an honored elder archaeologist. She persisted against entrenched patriarchy in her childhood at Harvard University, and as she did field work with her husband in the Northern Plains. A senior male professor attempted to quash Kehoe's career by raping her. Her Harvard professors refused to allow her to write a dissertation in archaeology. Universities paid her less than her male counterparts. Her husband refused to participate in housework or childcare. Working in archaeology and in the history of the American First Nations, Kehoe published a series of groundbreaking books and articles. Although she was denied a conventional career, through her unconventional breadth of research and her empathy with First Nation peoples, she gained a wide circle of collaborators and colleagues. Throughout her career, she found and fostered a sisterhood of feminists, strong, bright women archaeologists, anthropologists, and ethnohistorians who have been essential to the field. And this is her life story. So that's coming out next year. Those of you who have an interest in archaeology, you've got a titanic figure in the field. It sounds like I don't know enough about the history of archaeology to know much. I will learn a lot from that book. Then we have a finished copy, and it has a sheet in it of some kind. So let's see what we have here. Maybe the date is out already. Yes, this is out already. This came out in late December. This is by Lena Zeldovich, and it is called The Other Dark Matter. The Science and Business of Turning Waste into Wealth and Health. And there you have a toilet paper roll on the cover. The Other Dark Matter. Grossly ambitious and rooted in scientific scholarship, this book shows how human excrement can be life-saving, money-making resource if we make better use of it. In which case, I am sitting quite literally on a gold mine. Scientists tell us we've been wasting our waste. When recycled correctly, this resource, cheap and widely available, 3 o'clock every day, can be converted into a sustainable energy source, act as an organic fertilizer, provide effective medicinal therapy for antibiotic-resistant bacterial infection, and much more. In clear and engaging prose that draws on her extensive research and interviews, the author documents the massive redistribution of nutrients and sanitation inequities across the globe. She profiles the pioneers of poop upcycling. Let's repeat that again in case you had me on double speed. Poop upcycling. Breaks taboos surrounding sewage disposal and shows how hygienic waste repurposing can help battle climate change, reduce acid rain, and eliminate toxic algal blooms. Ultimately, she implores us to use our innate organic power for greater good. Don't just sit there and let it go to waste. All right, well, the writer of this pub sheet earned their keep. Don't just sit there and let it go to waste. Is genius. So, The Other Dark Matter. This is probably the only book you will read this month on ethical pooping. And this is why I show these things to you people, just in case. Then let's see here. This next one is also a March release, and I don't have a sheet for it, but it's by Andrea Lanny, and it's called Uphill Both Ways, Hiking Toward Happiness on the Colorado Trail. Let's read about it a little here. One grouchy husband, 3 reluctant kids, 500 miles of wilderness, and one woman determined to escape the humdrum existence of modern parenting and a toxic work environment, and to confront the history of environmental damage wreaked by westward expansion and the Anthropocene. In this book, the author walks us through the southern Rockies, describing how the region has changed since the discovery of gold in 1859. At the same time, she delves into the history of her family, who immigrated from Leadville to work in the mines, and her own story of hiking the trail in her early 20s before returning 2 decades later, a depressed, middle-aged mom in East Coast exile, seeking happiness in a childhood landscape. On the 489-mile trek from Denver to Durango on the Colorado Trail, I have done that trek, and I'm surprised that the cover copy is good in this long without mentioning either bears or rattlesnakes. The author's family traveled through stunning scenery and encountered wildflowers, wildlife, and too many other hikers. Well, see, I did it a million years ago when hiking was something that enthusiasts did, but normal people didn't. They ate cold oatmeal in a chilly, wet tent and experienced scorching heat, torrential thunderstorms, and the first nip of winter. Her kids grew in unimaginable ways. What does that mean? Second liver for everybody? Oh, Timmy, you've got a hand growing out of your forehead. And they became known as the Family of Five, an oddity along a trail populated primarily by solo men. As they inched along the trail, the author began to exercise disused smile muscles, despite the challenges of hiking in a middle-aged body, maintaining her children's safety and happiness, and contending with marital discord. Again, no mention of rattlesnakes. Again, no mention of bears. She learned that being a slow hiker does not make one a bad hiker. That is absolutely true. I met way too many people who had this just mania for speed. And no, being a slow hiker does not make you a bad hiker at all. Some of the legendary ones were just ambled. And Oh, so, okay. So being a slow hiker does not make one a bad hiker, and began to uncover the secrets to happiness. Okay. Well, this is going to bring back a lot of memories for me. I've done a lot of hiking in exactly that area. So you're hiking along and you're thinking, isn't it neat? How isn't it kind of weird how those ravens are hopping from rock to rock to rock, but they're not hopping on that one rock right in the middle there. It's kind of strange. And of course, the reason why is because it's a 10,000-pound grizzly bear who's just about to notice you. Anyway, this next one we're going to hop back to archaeology. This is a finished copy, so this is probably out already. Let's take a look. See if we can find out. Oh no, this comes out in early January. This is by Pierre Tallet and Mark Lehner, and it's called The Red Sea Scrolls: How Ancient Papyri Reveal the Secrets of the Pyramids. A slightly oversized thing, and probably heavily illustrated. Yes, it's heavily illustrated. Let me show you. Look at that. You've got just color illustrations, and the color illustrations are not in a typical inset. Instead they're all throughout the book. So you get. I want to say you get your money's worth, but I don't know how sinfully expensive this thing is. Let's find out. Are you going to tell me? Or are you ashamed? You might be ashamed. Oh no! It's $40. That's a lot of money, but you can request it at your library now that you know that it's coming out in January. And this is a compelling first-hand account of the discovery of the world's oldest papyri, which reveal how the Egyptians built the Great Pyramid at Giza. The author's Pierre Tallet's discovery of the Red Sea Scrolls, the world's oldest surviving written documents, in 2013 was one of the most remarkable moments in the history of Egyptology. Written some 4,600 years ago, these papyri, combined with Mark Lehner's research and theories, changed what we thought we knew about the building of the Great Pyramid of Giza. In this book, the authors share for the first time the definitive account of this astounding discovery, exploring how the construction of the pyramids helped create a unified state, propelling Egyptian civilization forward. Okay, all right. Starting with Tallet's hunt for hieroglyphic rock inscriptions in the Egyptian deserts, the book takes readers through the discovery of the papyri, the diary of Inspector Merer, who oversaw the work of the reign of King Khufu, in Wadi el-Jafr, the site of an ancient harbor on the Red Sea. The translation of the papyri reveals how the stones of the Great Pyramids were transported to the Giza Plateau. Complementing Lehner's excavations of the newly unearthed harbor, the Red Sea Scrolls have greatly advanced our understanding of how the ancient Egyptians were able to build monuments that survive to this day. And that wasn't me. Okay. I want to know what was in the monuments. I suppose I should know that. I'm pretty sure I noticed that news when it came out. But one of the most appealing things about archaeology is that we can never fully predict what we will find, write the authors. The excavation of Wadi el-Jafr on the west coast of the Gulf of Suez promised from the beginning to provide new information on the nature of ancient Egypt's seagoing in the Red Sea, and particularly on the maritime expeditions of the early Old Kingdom. But we could never have anticipated that it would yield the oldest papyri yet discovered. Okay, so this is now I understand why they went to all the bother of giving this such gorgeous artwork throughout, because this is clearly going to be the definitive work on that revolutionary discovery. Okay, great. Then we have this thing here. Our books are getting progressively bigger as we get towards the end here. Let's see, what have we got here? This came out in November, this next one. And it is by Jennifer McElwain, Marlene Hill Donnelly, and Ian Glasspool. And it's called Tropical Arctic. Lost Plants, Future Climates, and the Discovery of Ancient Greenland. While today's Greenland is largely covered in ice, in the time of the dinosaurs, the area was a lushly forested tropical zone. Tropical Arctic tracks a 10 million year window of Earth's history when global temperatures soared and the vegetation of the world responded. A stunning compilation of paint and pencil art, photos, maps, and engineered fossil models. Tropical Arctic blends art and science to bring the lost world to life. This book explains our planet's story of environmental upheaval, mass extinction, and resilience. By looking at Earth's past, we see a glimpse of the future of our warming planet and learn an important lesson for in our time of climate change. So this also came out in late November and is out now in your bookstores. And it also is extremely illustrated all throughout. You've got sketches, looks like field notebooks. Yes, and also, I was hoping for this, reconstructive artwork, including dinosaurs, including flying animals and whatnot of all kinds, to take you through the various life stages of a Greenland. There we go. There's the Jurassic, a beastie. If you just looked at that picture, you would never guess where that is. That it's in Greenland. So there you go, tropical Arctic. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. So, dinosaur research, and then this final one is a kid's book, a kid's picture book. Let's see when it's coming out. Okay, so this came out already. This came out in late November. Once again, the ergonomics of the situation here is causing everything to want to fly away from me, but I want to try and resist that. So this came out on November 16th. This is by Keo McClare and Gracie Zhang, and it's called The Big Bathhouse. Let's see what we have here. A joyful celebration of Japanese cultural traditions and body positivity as a young girl visits a bathhouse with her grandmother and aunties. It's already received 5-starred reviews from Kirkus Reviews, Publishers Weekly, The Bulletin, Hornbook, and Book Page, and is a Publishers Weekly Best of 2021 list selection. No small thing to get a big thumbs up from Hornbook, as those of you who are in the kids' book world will know. That's no small thing. That's a great accomplishment. In this celebration of Japanese culture and family and bodies of all shapes and sizes, join a little girl along with her aunties and grandmother at a traditional bathhouse. Once there, the rituals leading up to the baths begin. Hair washing, back scrubbing, and finally the wood barrel drum roll. Until at last it's time and they ease their bodies, their creased bodies, their newly sprouting bodies, sagging, jiggly bodies into the bath. With lyrical text and gorgeous illustrations, this picture book featuring a North American girl visiting her family in Japan is based on the author's loving memories of childhood visits to the country and a joyful ode to families and ties that bind generations of women together. So you're going to want to see the pictures. I certainly do. Let's take a look. Here we go. They're approaching the bathhouse. A big bathhouse. And there they get ready. There is the procedure to get everybody ready. How wonderful. How wonderful. Okay, so this is out already. So this new arrivals video has been pretty much 50-50 of stuff that's coming out and stuff that's out already. So this thing that's out already is The Big Bathhouse, a children's book. Then we have Tropical Arctic, a Greenland you didn't know, home to dinosaurs, full of dinosaurs. We have the Red Sea Scrolls, the oldest piece of writing ever discovered. Let's see here. Uphill Both Ways. Middle-aged mother and wife takes her family hiking on the Colorado Trail. We have The Other Dark Matter, about poop upcycling. What did you think it was about? Then we have Girl Archaeologist. A giant in the field writes her memoir. We have Extreme North. This is a translated work about all of the myths, positive and negative, associated with extreme northern climates, Arctic climates. Then A Molecule Away from Madness, Tales from the World of Chemical Imbalance of one kind or another. And The Anomaly, which won 4 French literary prizes and will like totally blow you away, like totally, man. Like it's like wicked good stuff. I haven't read any of these, so they could all be great. But I wanted you to know about them. They span the spectrum, so now that you do, I will wrap this up for now, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.